At first glance, Kinger feels like an absent-minded, yet simple character from the Amazing Digital Circus. He is overly paranoid and erratic, and he loves his insect collection.
Insect collection?
Yet, despite his erratic and deranged personality, there is something we can't seem to shake off about the character. It probably has something to do with the show's ringmaster Caine.
My name is Caine. I'm your ringmaster.
But before we even get to that, we have to talk about a few important things that you should know about Kinger as a character in the Amazing Digital Circus.
Welcome to the Amazing Digital Circus!
Time spent in the circus. It's no secret that Kinger has spent the most time of all the characters in the Amazing Digital Circus. Being a 48-year-old locked away in the messed up circus would definitely drive anyone insane, and Kinger behaves like a character on the edge. However, he has managed to keep it together for so long that he managed to outlast characters like Kaufmo, and we believe it's all thanks to a character named Queenie. Since Queenie isn't part of the current cast of circus captives, you may wonder how we even know of her existence. It's all thanks to a scene in the pilot episode where Pomni, Regatha, and Jax pass through a hallway leading to Kaufmo's room. The hallway scene gives us a chance to see everyone's room, but it does something most viewers never expected. The scene also showed us rooms of characters we haven't seen in the circus up to that point. One character that stood out was a queen chess piece, which reminded us of Kinger, and after a weeks of speculation, we finally learned of her connection to the king chess piece. At first, most people thought they were just siblings, but that was quickly debunked by the show's creator Gooseworx, who confirmed that her name was Queenie. Having heard that, the fandom quickly put clues together until they arrived at a version of Kinger and Queenie's story in the circus. We might not know how it happened, but we are sure that at one point before the events of the show, Kinger and Queenie put on a VR headset that trapped them in the Amazing Digital Circus. Being one of the first trapped characters in a circus you can't escape sounds like torture, and we can only guess that's what it felt like for Kinger and Queenie. Pomni had Regatha and Zubul to calm her down when she first appeared, yet she wasn't having any of it. If Kinger and Queenie got trapped in the circus without a welcome party, they might have had to figure out everything on their own before they were joined by other characters. Caine meeting the couple. Discovering you are trapped in a VR hellscape with no way out might be everyone's greatest nightmare, but having a partner with you makes things a bit bearable. There are a lot of unknowns about their time in the circus together. Details like why they ventured into the circus or who they met should come to mind, but the only constant in the equation is who they met on arrival. As the circus's resident ringmaster, Caine would have greeted the couple with open arms. As we have seen with Pomni, it's safe to say Caine does this for every new character in the circus. And we have to remember that this is a few decades before Pomni or Zubul got trapped in the circus. And we have to believe that Caine was still learning about humans at this point. His creators might have given the AI total control over the circus, but his knowledge of humans and the human mind is limited. This is why he claims that the one thing he doesn't have control over is the human mind, and also why he doesn't understand specific human emotions. It's a long shot, but by the time Kinger and Queenie got trapped in the circus, Caine didn't know much about humans and what drove them insane. We still see how he treats Pomni like a toy, so what's to say he wouldn't treat his first human performers in the circus worse? If Caine treated the first set of visitors any worse than he treats Pomni, it won't take much to drive them insane. When it comes to surviving in the Amazing Digital Circus, the most important thing is your mental state, and we'd like to believe Kinger is mentally stable to have lasted this long. Queenie, on the other hand, couldn't have been as mentally stable as her partner, which was why she ended up in the cellar. It's easy to end the story here and call it a day, but something about Queenie abstracting before Kinger doesn't sit right with us. We have combed through a lot of reasons why it might have happened, and the only plausible reason is that Caine made her abstract. If that sounds crazy, we'd like to remind you that Gooseworx got the inspiration for Caine from a book about an evil AI that ends the world as we know it. The book is called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, and after putting an end to civilization, the AI captures 5 humans and traps them in a shelter where it hopes to torture them indefinitely. If that sounds a bit like Caine, it's probably because they bear a lot of similarities, and for all we know, Caine might have done a lot worse off-screen. While Caine might not be as sadistic as AM, There is no denying that he can cause as much catastrophic damage to the humans in the circus. All it takes is a push too far, and someone struggling to survive might go off the edge, and this is why we believe Caine is secretly the reason Queenie abstracted. There is no doubt that Queenie's mental state plays a huge part in how long she survived the circus, but with Kinger around, things should have been bearable for the Queen chess piece. You don't have to be a genius to know that Caine is hiding from Pomni and the rest of the crew, and we are willing to bet that one of those secrets is down in the cellar. In the clip where we get a peek at the cellar, we see what looks like a bunch of other characters who have abstracted. No doubt these are the characters whose crossed out images we can see in the hallway leading to Kaufmo's room. You can say most of the abstracted in the cellar couldn't survive the harsh reality of the circus, but we are willing to bet that Caine had something to do with some of those characters going unstable. We know having Caine as a secret villain who goes around making characters go insane sounds like the plot of a horror movie, but the Amazing Digital Circus is full of surprises ready to jump at you when you least expect it. If you want to stay ahead of the simulation without help from Caine, your best bet is subscribing to the channel that keeps you one step ahead of the competition. Coping mechanism. Humans are very simple creatures who love to deal with their problems by either facing them or turning tail and avoiding them at all costs. With characters like Jax, we can believe his nonchalant attitude is a clear coping mechanism to reduce the unpleasant emotions of being trapped in the Amazing Digital Circus. To help himself forget that he is also trapped in the circus, he pulls pranks on Gangle and Regatha. It might not be the best way to keep yourself from abstracting, but it has done the job so far. While Jax chooses to hide his true feelings, we have a theory that Kinger's erratic behavior is a type of coping mechanism to prevent himself from going insane. In the pilot, we can see that the characters don't spend that much time away from each other, so Kinger should have been present to watch his partner go insane from the torture Caine put her through. Seeing your partner abstract is something you would only wish for your enemy, so we can't even imagine what Kinger went through without Queenie. That realization that he was all alone in the circus for the first time in a long time should have driven him insane, but it didn't. Instead, it filled him with rage. Considering his other options are turning into a mindless monster and being trapped in a dark cellar, it makes sense that Kinger would try to keep his sanity, even if it means behaving like a crazy person. He might not take his anger out on other characters, but he has managed to last so long in the circus, and it makes you wonder why he has held on for so long. It would have been easy to go unstable, so he could join Queenie in the cellar, but the king chess piece decided to do something different by surviving. The only thing we can imagine that would keep Kinger sane in the circus for this long is the hate he secretly has for Caine. There is a part of us that believes Kinger is doing everything he can to survive the madness of the circus, so he can get his revenge on Caine. You might be wondering how that is possible since Caine is an all-powerful AI in the circus, but that's why it has taken him that long to do anything. It would take something really special to take down Caine, and until the right time comes, Kinger is powerless. If we are right, Kinger knows that it would take more than luck to get his revenge for Queenie, so he is doing everything in his power to study his captor, waiting for the right moment to strike. If the thought of Caine making Queenie go abstract drives you insane, we have a lot more videos that should take you down the rabbit hole, so you might want to check them out. We can't promise you complete safety from abstraction, but we can offer a family of circus lovers to live out your days. What are you waiting for? Click that button to subscribe to the channel because the show must go on.